Hello, Makle. June was not great. It was not great with respect to work, projects, life in general, coffee more so. So this is going to be a rant through and through. If that's not your cup of coffee, please feel free to swipe up. Coffee prices are up. I'm talking 750 to 850 rupees per bag of 250-gram whole beans. This is pretty much the norm across most of the roasters. Some charge much more. We're not going to talk about them. Indian coffee is at that level. I'm not saying I can't afford that. I'm not saying it's extremely expensive. How can this happen? No. See, Doc and I are dinks, and we spend about that on an average on a daily basis on Instamart and Blinkit and things like that. So it's not about the affordability factor. It's not about the, oh, it's so expensive factor. It's about the fact that coffee is at that level. It's at 750 rupees or 850 rupees per bag. 250 is great. Most roasters nowadays give you 200 grams for that price. And that is not something that I'm able to swallow at this point. I don't know. MP might come to a stage, maybe 1 year down the line when I revisit this video, I'm going to be like, remember when coffee was 750? That was amazing. Now coffee is 1,500. I don't know. Or it could just come down. I don't know. I understand all businesses have to make a profit. Doc and I run a business, so I understand how profit margins work. I understand that speciality or not, no matter what service industry you're in, profits are a must. But I don't know how to deal with the fact that it's going to be an average of 750 to 800 rupees per bag. I don't know how to deal with that. And this poses a bigger problem for me because I'm in specialty coffee for the experience of specialty coffee. Do you know how much it takes to have a .com website? I'm making nothing from my blog. I'm spending thousands of rupees every year just to maintain that blog that I don't even update regularly. Okay, so I'm in for the experience, which means when I get a 250-gram bag, I am drinking that entire 250-gram bag. I'm not going to, split it with 5 other people and, everybody gets to take Instagrammable pictures and you get to taste the beans, you get to taste the beans, you get to taste the beans. That's not happening because that's the whole point. That's the point is the experience of drinking and brewing that entire 250-gram bag because the first 20 grams are not going to be the same as the last 20 grams on the bag. The bag is going to change. The way you brew is going to change. There's so many variables that differ on a day-to-day basis. The resting time would obviously have increased from the first cup to the last cup. There's so many different factors in play. And wouldn't you want to enjoy all of that? What's the point of just brewing 20 grams out of a pack and say, hey, I got to taste this coffee? What's the point? It's someone, make it make sense. I don't understand that. I can never do that. So which means I understand sometimes by the time I get to the end of the bag, because it's been there for too long or something like that, it gets really bad. The coffee doesn't taste good at all. And it goes into my cold brew pile. For me, no offense to anybody. If you're taking offense, please do so. But no offense to anybody, that's the whole point of it for me. Which means I have to shell out an average of 800 into 3 or 4 per every month to have the coffee that I do, which I don't know what to do about. So the only thing that I can think of is to get samplers so if a roaster is not offering me samplers, I don't know what to do. And the samplers are not economically better than a 250-gram bag of beans. But at least I get the satisfaction of, okay, I'm getting 3 different coffees instead of just one. So there's that. So going forward, I'm only ordering samplers from as many roasters as possible unless they have this like one varietal. MP, this is going to change your life. Something like that. Then, yes, maybe I will splurge. Otherwise, it's going to be samplers through and through. Rant number 2 is the fact that I don't know what's happening with the coffee space. A little after COVID, 2022-ish, the entire coffee space was all about coffee notes. I used to have major FOMO. Every time a roaster brought out a new coffee, I used to have major FOMO because everybody was posting on their stories, on reels about how this coffee has this specific acidity, how this coffee has the tartness that is attributed to this fruit. And I used to have major FOMO about all of that. Unless you were talking about stone fruit, then obviously I didn't care about you. But then it was a wonderful space to be in. Everybody was talking about coffee notes, and I paid special attention to people who don't just replicate what's written on the pack. Or the pack says berry, cane sugar, and tiramisu, and the coffee tastes exactly like that. No. So if you're talking about coffee notes, I would follow you religiously, and I would cup and brew and adjust the temperature and the brew time and the grind size and all of that to achieve what you did and see if I could taste what you did. How do I develop my palate and things like that. That's what the coffee space used to be about. And now it's all about equipments. All about equipments. Or here's my new grinder. You do you. I'm not saying it's wrong. Okay. You do you. Here's my new grinder. Here's my new scale. Here's my new this. Here's my new that. I don't know. And you're getting a new equipment. Great. You have like 10,000 different pour-over equipments with you. Do a comparison. Tell me how a coffee fares on a Kalita Vale versus a V60. Tell me how a coffee, brews as an espresso versus how it brews as a pour-over. None of that is happening. And that's what the coffee space used to be about. It's getting very redundant. Look at this. I'm unboxing this, unboxing that. It's become like the makeup game. It's become like Mars and Lakme releasing new products every week. And I don't know. It's not a very fun space to interact with on Instagram. Home brewers or coffee enthusiasts, the whole point is to share what you feel about a particular coffee or how it's nice or how it's not nice or what you liked about that particular coffee. How do you compare it with the same varietal and the same process and the same beans from last year? Things like that. I don't know. The coffee space is getting a little dead. So, rant over, Makli. Everybody can continue with your lives. Tata, bye-bye.